Man, I've been at it all day. It's crazy out here, boy. We've been at it all night. Then we've been at it all day, and now the things really gonna get all the way lit, and ain't no telling what time we check into the house. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So come on in on the live right now. Louie C. the Mayor checking in. Hit the notification button right over here. Woo! Those of y'all watching worldwide on YouTube, there's a little subscribe button right over here. You hit that, woo, and we're going to get this thing started. Shout out to Florida Keys Injury Lawyers, accident lawyers in the Keys. If you have an accident, car, moped, or bicycle, or God forbid that ocean, because a lot of people in that ocean out here with the tourism going on, make sure you go to FloridaKeysInjury.com. Locals taking care of locals at 302 Southern Street. Dr. B, boy, it's going to be a big show on Friday. Advanced Urgent Care Key West Marathon in Key Largo. Test and treat. They said ivermectin offset the COVID in 48 hours. So make sure you check that out. If you don't want to take our word for it, just go to Google and Google ivermectin, and they'll show you what's really going on. Also, some of y'all, every day I see somebody smoking, try to get you off them cigarettes. Them cigarettes cause cancer, so try vaping. Naughty Vapes, the #1 vape shop in Key West.
I need some help.
Okay.
I need some help.
Right across the street from the fire department. Always take care of locals and military. 10% discount. Make sure you like their Facebook page under Naughty, N-A-U-T-I, Vapes. Good page on Facebook. All love right now. And let me tell you, it's been a big day in the feds. The federal court has definitely went down today, but there's a lot of information. There's a lot of misinformation. So we're going to get to the meats and potatoes. In the building, had the courage to go out there and see a federal judge. He didn't hold back. I mean, this is very impressive. My man, Andrew Pink Day. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. I appreciate you having me.
Okay, so thank you for coming. I see, look like you just came right out of the court right
Yeah.
now. Is that how you dress today?
This is how I dress for court from my kitchen. They didn't have actual court, so we had Zoom court. So
Gotcha.
The good thing about that was I got to have unlimited amount of coffee exactly the way I like it. So it wasn't that bad.
Well, thank you for coming in on the podcast. Come on in, because we're going to get to the meats and potatoes and let you know what really happened in court today. Andrew, if you could get that screen on for me.
Yeah, let's see what we can do here.
And just put it on Facebook, and then I'm going to have you give an introduction to the people. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So give an introduction about yourself, how long you've been in Key West, just a little breakdown of yourself.
Yeah, we can do that. Hey, so I'm Andrew Day. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. My family moved down here with me approximately 2 years ago to take over a federal contract on base. And we lived in Nashville ever since we became a family. I was born and raised there. Went to Auburn University. Met my lovely wife Brittany there, and she was the one night stand that never went home.
Okay, yeah. Miss Brittany doing it.
Yeah, 15 years later.
Still at it, huh?
15 years later, still at it. I've got a 7-year-old son, Jackson, that's enrolled at Gerald Adams in first grade, and I have a beautiful little princess, Charlotte, that is at the co-op.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, you good to go? We started on the watch party.
All right.
So it's all love. Let me see who I got. So Mike Knowles, I'm going to come to you in a minute. Mikey Story, the #1 conk in America. That boy's serious. He don't care about what they talk about. There ain't no telling what time that man turned down. Today, tomorrow, for the whole New Year's, all the way to the 3rd. Ain't no telling. I got LaDonna checking in. You know, when Stock Island started checking in. Today, it's real hectic. It's real hectic. Who is Michael Knowles? Mike, you've been at it all night. That man came off a 9 o'clock shift. Then he started a new shift, and he on the overnight shift. So it's all love right now. Michael Knowles, who you got?
I got LaDonna Bowling.
Yes, yep.
I got Lauren Knowles.
Okay.
I got Robert and Tisha Garza.
Okay.
Tori Solano.
Hey.
John Gibbs Sr.
Okay.
And I think Kelly Castellanos.
Okay. All love to y'all. Thank y'all.
Alice Wirt. Kyla Everett.
Nice.
And I think Tina Lee.
Okay. All love. If you kill and hate with love, I need y'all to throw all the hearts up on the Facebook right now, all the way up, like Fat Joe. I said you got a couple people coming in. Who you got over there on your side?
Let's see. Kenny, Kenny, that's actually a Zuck account. That's not even his real name. He just did that because he keeps getting banned from Facebook.
Ron Bailey in the building. We're about to go in today, Ron. Who else we got?
That's right. We got Keisha. So I met Keisha a couple weekends ago during the Irreverent Warriors Silkies hike. That was it was unceremoniously canceled by the city due to some outside pressure. But Irreverent Warriors is a veterans group, and as everyone I hope has heard, and if you haven't, please accept this as your first introduction to the problems that we're facing in our society, where 22 veterans a day are committing suicide. And that's from any number of issues, from PTSD to alcoholism, drug abuse, and we're trying to bring awareness that people have the power to make a connection with a veteran that may ultimately save his or her life one day. So we had a march here throughout the streets. We started at the VFW on Roosevelt,
Nice.
and then marched our way around the town, drinking the entire time. It was quite the event. I met her there.
Nice. Okay, so all love. Michael, we're going to have to give the disclaimer on today's show. We do not tolerate any personal attacks. Any personal attacks on individuals that come on the show you could be unfriendly, you could be blocked, and depending on which level you go to, you might receive a visit from the Louie the Mayor security team, like the Secret Service. So we don't have a problem with disagreement on some. Make sure we stay within the bounds of what's happening, because we don't want to ban nobody, but we will. Just like my man Uncle Luke said, ban in the USA. So everything been good. Mike, I believe we had 202 on the podcast.
Yep.
So we're going to break down here what happened in court here in a minute. But for those y'all, a lot of y'all ain't been downtown. Thousands. Yesterday I was using 2 S's on the dial. Now I'm up to 3. By the time we get to Thursday, I think we have better numbers than we had the last 2 years, because you can't get a hotel. I mean, if you doing any type of investment, you can never go wrong with a hotel in Key West. Kelly, I heard my name. Where did you get my name? Kelly, you popped up on the Facebook.
Yep.
You know, Facebook, Mark watching, the whole feds watching, everybody watching. JC Key West is in the building. So, like I said, thousands of people here. We're going full throttle for the tourist season, and we welcome tourists. Be nice to tourists. Also, I got a report, Mike. You told me them hurricanes ain't doing well. Bad business against Oklahoma State.
Well, I changed that because they actually scored.
Just scored them.
Yeah.
Come on now, Hurricanes. Let's get it together now. 305 Dade County checking in. Mike Knowles, who you got on that side before we get into the meats and potatoes?
I got Danielle Cody Harden.
Okay.
I got Gabby Mike Henriquez.
Gabby, that girl don't play. Straight Key West, bleed red and gray. How about them conks, baby?
I got Joanne Backman.
Joanne, okay.
And I got Denise Lear, and that's it.
Okay. There's a gentleman named Dennis Ward.
Yep.
I need y'all to throw them hearts up all the way up like Fat Joe. That man had a birthday. If that man pick you up, like, we go to the office, we see some names come across. That man see your name come across on Subway. It's not good news, but that man been on the show several times, and that man is a straight shooter. He don't play. He don't give you the sugarcoat version. And today we're going to keep it blood raw over here, guaranteed. Jody, can't believe ruling. We're going to get into that. Shauna Taylor, unfortunate outcome today. Hats off to you for trying. Absolutely. So let's get right to it. So tell me, can you tell me a little bit about the lawsuit against the city for people who just tuning in and don't know anything, and this is brand new to them?
Yeah, of course. And, obviously I don't have a JD. I've dabbled with legal exercises as a hobby, so I'm probably going to explain this in the most layman terms as humanly possible.
Right.
We all know down here in Key West that an executive directive, or however you want to fashion it, was issued by the mayor the day after a city commission meeting, which I and Louie also attended, along with others. And this directive was, in no less words, a curfew between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. starting on Thursday, New Year's Eve, and rolling through the weekend. And during that commissioners meeting, a great amount of time was spent on what to do about New Year's Eve, and we all knew it was coming. maybe we as a city did not prepare early enough for it, but nonetheless, it was coming. And so, absent of a vote by the city commissioners, the mayor issued an executive decision regarding the curfew, which which enumerated a certain number of reasons why you could be outside, but none of them were for the reasons that most people will be outside of their homes on New Year's Eve. So,
right.
I said it during the city commission's meeting. I didn't have a plan to speak that night because I knew they weren't voting. And so but I did end up speaking, and I said it, and I've said it publicly before. I've said it privately to my friends. I've drawn a line in the sand. I think everybody needs to search down inside and decide at what point.
So you sued the city for violation of civil rights. Is that correct?
For the layman's term, yeah. Of course.
Okay. So this takes a lot of courage to sue a city, and this is for the world, because, like, in my opinion, it's an injustice. So today we had the hearing over at the federal court, and basically, how did that go for everybody just tuning in? And just go ahead in your own words, just let them know. What's going on.
Obviously, given the timeline between when the order was issued, because you can't sue someone before something's actually done,
right?
And my ability to locate a competent attorney that I would trust to represent me, and going through that process, because it's an arduous process. I mean, to people who don't know, it's not like you see on Law and Order where the good-looking dude with the slick back hair just shows up and knows what he's talking about. Like, there's a massive amount of preparation and work that goes into this.
Tedious, let's go.
Tedious, yes. Absolutely, and you don't get there. No one is. They made a movie about Keanu Reeves being a crack shot attorney at 24 years old, because no one's a crack shot attorney at 24 years old.
Right.
It takes experience. And it takes a lifetime of dedication, and I'm proud of my attorney for dedicating that, and putting in the hard work to get prepared for this case. And given the timeline, there wasn't a whole lot of options for litigation between parties or going back and forth. So today, the judge decided that we were going to do it almost like a Supreme Court hearing, where the plaintiff attorney for representing me was able to speak for 30 or so minutes. He didn't put a guideline on it. He ended up speaking for 42 minutes.
Right.
And then the defendant's attorney was allowed to speak for an approximate equal amount of time.
Gotcha.
And then my attorney was allowed to rebut what was said after a short recess. So it wasn't exactly how I thought it was going to play out when we started this. I imagined that there would be some sort of testimony by myself or by others that could be related to the case. I mean, every case, whether it's criminal or tort, has witnesses. You would imagine. At least that's how we all grew up, imagining how law works. But no witnesses were called. No objections were raised during the time. I've watched enough Law and Order SVU to know that some of the things that the defense's attorney said weren't admissible in court. But no objections were allowed to be raised on either side. And you know what? At the end of the day, like I've said before publicly, we were always only promised our day in court. And someone's got to lose. And
you never know what's going to happen in the court of law.
Of course.
But this is bigger than the court of law. This is something that's called courage that a lot of people don't have. And this is called go against the grind, even if some people don't believe some. So I put it, I compared it to the movie The Hurricane. Okay, you watch the movie The Hurricane?
That's the boxer movie.
Yeah, with Reuben Carter. Did you see it? Okay, so Reuben Carter, we can't get into the whole thing, but there's a thing in the state court and there's a federal court. So that man was served an injustice where he was from, and he felt that he could not get a fair trial in the area we was at in the state court. And they tried to convince him you should, go to the state court first, and that man went against everything that's on that paper and went to the federal court. This ain't got nothing to do with what happened today, but basically the message is that he stood up for what he believed in and actually was victorious. So we are, we sometimes lose battles as long as we win the war. we good. So today the judge ruled against you, correct?
He did. He denied our motion for a TRO, a temporary restraining order, and he expressed that in what I thought was a fairly well written, well contemplated and executed ruling. Up until Part B, where he started mentioning the reasons why he denied it. We can get into that if anyone would like. At the end of the day,
you could touch on that. So, what was his reasoning for denying, basically off the top of your head, without the briefing in front of you?
So, without the briefing or my notes in front of me, the main gist that I get, and this is probably the best way to explain it, because most people watching on here didn't pass the bar. Hell, most of them didn't take the LSAT. So, I mean, we need to explain this in a way that makes sense to everyone. I feel like there were two things that we had to prove in order to obtain this temporary restraining order. And no, that doesn't mean that Mayor Terry couldn't come, within 50 yards of my house. I'm not worried about her. I've heard nothing but great things about how she's just, she's a lovely lady. I mean, like, I would say who elects an asshole to that position. Welcome to politics.
You basically bring a good point, because I know Terry very well. And I disagree on her position, which he's taken. Mm-hmm. I disagree at 1,000,000,000%. So I'm going to do everything I can to move forward with what's the right thing to do, in my opinion. She could disagree. Mm-hmm. We don't have to call each other names, but I'm not buying into the program. And we passed the point, unfortunately, of dialogue. Dialogue is done. And there's, you forget, there's 7 people up there. Everybody got 1 vote. So what I'm stressing is somebody on that dais, besides Billy Wardlow, need to step up to the plate and basically step up to the situation of what's going on. But like I said, we're going into good year 2021, get past 2020, and stuff like this, because we still applying pressure. We sitting here, if people working on other stuff, we're going to keep applying pressure. We're going to talk to you silently. We're going to have a little bit of tone, and we might scream. And we might holler, depending on the situation. So go ahead. So basically, on that Part B, I think you were saying.
Yeah, so Part A was proving whether or not I had standing to bring the case. Okay. And that's just with anything else. It's just like, for an immediate reference, I couldn't, even though I believe that O.J. Simpson killed Nicole Brown, I can't sue O.J. Simpson for Nicole Brown because I don't have standing. I wasn't injured by it.
Right.
So that's pretty much where we had a departure from our constitutional perception of what's going on here. And I've read it multiple times since it was released a couple hours ago, and it just, you almost want to go cross-eyed between the two worlds that are the way normal people speak to one another and convey ideas, and the way attorneys are scripted to speak. A lot of people who supported this curfew will sit there and say, "See, I was right, yada yada yada." Well, I mean, go ahead and read Section B to me and explain to me why I'm right. You couldn't even make it through that 2 of those paragraphs without stepping over yourself.
I have a BA in sports administration, right? And when I go to lawyer's office, somebody get them a little sophisticated. I would just very simply say, can you tell me that just in basic English? I appreciate all the extra. I need to know 1 + 1 is 2 so I can understand it, so I'm comfortable with it. So I do consumer math. Calculus is great. I never use calculus out here in these streets, never. So that is great, because when you don't understand stuff, then you should ask for clarification. Don't be shy or think that you're not an intelligent person. Because in the court, if I was sitting with Day, I would say, "Can you explain to me what that man just said?" Because I'm not understanding. And if they ask me a question, "Do you understand?" And you go up there, I say, "I do not," or whatever. I like to get clarification. You have to stand up.
And even under that tenure. Tenant right there, you're still going to get multiple answers from multiple people. Right. Because if I get my attorney to explain to me what the judge was saying in Section B, he's going to use a much different verbiage than the defense attorney who argued for the city.
Absolutely. Who is Michael Knowles? Stand by. So let me see what I got here. Okay.
A lot of people.
All right, and you're going to stand by here because, first of all, thank you. It's a blessing to be alive. 300,000 people died. Michael, we're not here yet. We're far from here. You see this? Far from here.
I see it
But
everywhere.
we try to get back to the business, but unfortunately, it's not working out right now. JC Key West, thank you. Standing up for your rights. Hilda Knowles, terrible ruling. Jody Turner, when will enough be enough? The people, the majority rule, the people must stand up to injustice by all means necessary. Whatever you got to do, especially what happened in 2020 with the injustice. If you see injustice, go ahead and scream if you got to. We won't be mad at you. Organize a peaceful protest at 10 o'clock. We're going to talk about that. I don't know how you clear a street at 10 o'clock with over 15,000 people on the street. I'm in entertainment. I deal with big crowds, stadiums, or whatever. I just don't see the people leaving the street, but we're going to touch on that. Daryl Wygoose in the ATL Atlanta. Tyler Campbell, JC, Key West, take it to a higher court. That's a good point because, there's a thing called an appeal, and we fighting for the future. Even though we had a fight today, even Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa, they have a rematch. So, we seen verdicts come down in Miami and be overturned, like the Tootsies thing or whatever. So, the fight ain't over. Keep playing. The whistle ain't blowing. Then Nikki in the building doing it big. Andrew, what do you got on your side? Just slide up and down and just.
Oh, let's see what we got here. We got a few people waving down here.
So just try to go through your roll call. So.
Oh my gosh. Let's see, all the way back up. Let's see, Ruth Finch Holland. We got Whitley Simpson, a close relative of mine. Joe Mastermind.
Big and gaming.
The
Big
man
and gaming.
himself, Mr. One Shot, One Drop.
Big and gaming, that boy.
Straight dubs, my man.
Good man.
Love that guy. J.C. Martin, Derek Mann. I went to Iraq with Derek Mann back in 2007.
Oh, you was in the military?
I was. I did 6 years in the Marines.
Oh, really? Thank you for your service.
That was my pleasure. My pleasure. Carlos Montoya, one of my former regulars at my bar. Love that guy. If you're in the market for jewelry, you definitely need to go see him on Duval Street.
Okay.
And man, we got people all over the place.
You could go ahead and shout them out. We want to shout out all these people.
We're going to shout them all out?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Coming on down. Muhammad is a good friend of mine from Nashville.
Okay.
He's a killer engineer, and if you play soccer against him, he's going to put that ball between your legs.
Okay.
Every time. He's sneaky.
Hustler.
He's sneaky, but he's nice about it.
Good.
Michelle, who I've worked with down here. Dalen, who I've worked with down here. Unbelievable sense of humor. Dalen.
Nice.
Just
all love. Come on in.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, share the video because we just getting started here. We're going to get to the meats and potatoes, but go ahead and proceed because we like to give everybody
my
a
good
shout
buddy and fellow Marine, Pete. David West. David West, if that's the David West that I'm thinking of. David West is probably one of the baddest men walking the planet right now.
You don't want to play with him?
No, sir. No, sir. And I met him when he was already in his 50s, and I didn't want to play with him. That's a bad man right there. And also an attorney.
Nice.
Also an attorney. Jeremiah Hill, he's also a Marine, 0331 machine gunner, big old boy, amateur boxer.
Nice.
Always had my back on Broadway in Nashville. Going back to the same, Joseph works down here on Duval Street. Annie is someone who I've recently been introduced to through Facebook, through our conversations on some of the locals pages.
Gotcha.
Elizabeth as well. Jeff, I don't know why. Why do you even have your name Jeffrey, Jeff? Everyone calls him Jeff. Jeff worked with me down here, my first job on Duval Street. Got Alan Kennedy has worked with me overseas. Zach Newman has worked with me in Nashville. Soldier.
It's all love right now. All love in the club. Right?
Bruce Walker is I don't follow your relationship, Bruce. I don't want to get up in your business, but he is a very close friend of another friend of mine here in town. Matt McKinley is a bass player on Broadway in Nashville.
Shout out to Broadway. Okay.
Oh yeah, and big Auburn fan and graduate.
So you mostly got everybody there?
Stephanie Kleins. She just sent me a face request a couple of days ago, so I don't know her well, but yeah, that's everybody.
So Michael Knowles, stand by. Can you see that there on this question right here? Can you see that screen?
Let's see from Kayla.
Yeah. So go ahead. Can you read that?
So what about sushi dropping? So sushi dropping.
Hold on. Read the whole thing.
Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. Or the people still coming down. So are they going to control all the people that will still be in the streets after 10 p.m.? At the end of the day, people are down. Might as well let the business make their money. Thank goodness this shit show of a year is almost done.
Okay, Kyla, thank you for that comment and your questions. Sushi will still be dropping. CNN will be covering it, and they're having it in a private premise. So that's the first one.
I've heard that it's off-site and not even at midnight.
Correct. So how are they going to control all the people that will still be here streets after 10? I don't know how they're going to control. I would like to see how that's going to be possible, but I don't know. And yes, let the people celebrate the horrific year of 2020 that's over with, and we started the new year on 2021. So I agree with you. I would recommend that you have presence down there. You work with people. You have people complying with the mask, but I would not be forceful with people. Mike Knowles.
Okay, I got Pam Acosta. I got Robert Anderson. I got Ann Cortoni. I got Melinda. I got Esmeralda. I got Bobby Bates.
Wow, a lot of love right now.
Vic Furries. I got Jody Turner. She said, when will enough be enough?
Yeah.
I got Troy Montero. I got Roderick Jackson.
Roderick, my man. Broward County, stand up.
I got my wife, Janine Green. She says
Janine Green don't play over on 11th Avenue. You come on there playing is a problem.
She said, great effort. I got Winsome. I got Chelsea Reed. I got Shawnette Butler, Amy Kim Harrison, Elba.
New York checking in. All love right now. Please share the video worldwide.
Melissa Terry. I got Fred Culpepper.
My man Fred. How about them comps, baby?
Got Tyler Campbell.
Big Tyler.
And I got Claretta, Nicole Garcia, Jane Roman. I got Tara Lynn, Harry Russell.
Harry Russell, the #1 administrator downtown the school board. Man, it's no joke. Lean on me.
Scott H. Young says, hello from Jacksonville.
That's the last one I got here.
And I got Ruth Ann Vester, Mike Bayford, Sean Holt, and Peggy Medina, Olga Tompkins, Brian Voice, and I got Adrian L. Casimir.
Casimir, thank you for all the love. You kill hate with love. Throw them hearts all the way up on the podcast. Hit the notification button right over here. Boop! YouTube channel, subscribe button right over here. Boop! So Mike gets a lot of action going on here. My man Day over here is on Smash over here. I'm on Smash here. You're mine, so we're going to try to get everybody. So apologize if we miss somebody. So let me ask you point blank, and I want you to keep it blood raw, because that's how we do it on this program. How do you feel about the verdict today?
I'm disappointed. I think our entire team that's worked on this is disappointed. I wouldn't say that we're shocked. As we alluded to earlier, you don't know when you go into court. You don't know. And so, but at the end of the day, we were heard. We were not ignored. You were there at the city commission meeting with me, and you heard. You heard the tone from the mayor and from the commission. They were grabbing the shepherd's hook to pull us off the stage at the first instance they could. But the judge was very respectful. I think he was very thoughtful. And while I disagree with him,
we gotta agree to disagree. And like I said, there's always room for appeal. It won't be the first time a case got appealed. So let me tell you what this gentleman said. So we already stopped an injustice. So we're not going to allow the mayor to do directives without voting. We're not going to allow that no more. So you're going to have to vote on stuff. Call the roll. One person cannot decide for everybody. So we pretty much got that done. So basically, I wanted them to be clear that before they left the diocese to see where it was going to happen. Are we going to back for a special meeting? We're going to vote on this. So now we already set the tone that when things are very delicate that cover these people, you will vote on it. You will not have no more directive. And basically, commissioners are cooperating with that. So all love. So shout out to Billy Wardlow. Billy Wardlow, he keep it blood raw. I need some of y'all up there. I love all of y'all to go ahead and put your feet forward, your best foot forward, and flex your muscles up there. Flex your muscle. If you have to say that, Mayor, all due respect, you're out of your mind, then you got to just say that. Don't be scared about nothing or whatever, because at the end of the day, as long as we have people interjecting their thoughts and standing up for the people, because basically, same way people got voted on there, Same way the mayor got voted on there. We voted out. We already voted one mayor out in the county. We already, have a plan going in for 2 years from now. So, like I said, you serve at the pleasure of the people, by the people, and for the people. So stand up to injustice. That's the best I could tell you. Now, this is what the million, billion, trillion question is in the whole city. And who as Mike knows, we talked about this. Everybody's talked about it. Law enforcement, I deal with SWAT people from New York. I deal with state troopers. I deal with all kinds special forces, and basically I've been getting input in case I missed something. But Mr. Andrew, can this curfew be enforced at 10 p.m. and clear Duval Street? You think that's going to happen?
Going back to as I described during the commissioners meeting, I feel like I was very honest with them. And this is the saying, trust the experts, trust the experts. It's been hammered into our brains since February.
But who's the expert there?
Well, I mean, the chief of police is the expert.
Okay.
On that one. But that being said, throughout my adult career, I've worked a great deal of security, including bar security. At one point, I ran security contracts, controlling 10 bars on Broadway in Nashville. And,
really?
Anyone who's watching this, who's been to Nashville knows that, yeah, Key West is wild. Key West is a party. I respect.
Very, very well.
But you're not going to
He's being nice. This is very wild.
It is wild. It is wild. Hide your kids. But, people will walk in Irish Kevin's and say, man, that place is packed on a Saturday night. It is crazy in there. We had such a great time. And they're not wrong. Until they walk into Paradise Park on Broadway in Nashville and they see what a packed bar really looks like.
So today, the court date, with the verdict went against you, right?
It did.
Okay, so that's a fact. So now, in my opinion, the mayor's directive to say that maybe we make Key West not so fun has failed completely. This is an opinion because you can't prove this as a fact. So the objective, and correct me if you disagree, they set up there that they wanted to make it less fun, and they would thought by putting a curfew at 10 that less people will come. So what's happened is hotels are 800, 900. There ain't no hotel rooms today. Mike, what's today's date?
Right, the 29th.
Tuesday, right?
Yep.
So we full. We turned the corner. I had a guy climb a tree over here at the venue the other day. We had to stop him before he broke his neck. Thing is getting buck wild. I don't think the mayor understands what buck wild means.
That's just Tuesday down here.
Turned up.
So that's a typical Tuesday.
On Swole, Miami, 305 Dade County. Them people don't care about nothing coming down here. So I think that you watch the movie The Perfect Storm.
I did. Okay. I did with George Clooney.
Let me explain something to you. So here's a perfect storm coming at you, and I could be wrong. You got thousands. Everybody can pretty much tell you there's thousands of people coming. So that's a fact, right?
There's no debate there.
Okay, 4 minutes away, they got a place in the county, Stock Island. You cross the bridge 4 o'clock in the morning, not 10, not 10:05, 10:08, right? So then you got a whole county, only one piece here on Key West. You have to leave. Not only leave Duval Street, go home is what they're saying. Okay, so that's another piece of a perfect storm, right? Then it's New Year's Eve. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, people drink more on New Year's Eve. See, I still drink the same bottle of water, Pepsi, but these people drink it. They drink 3 rum and Pepsi, they're going to drink 9, especially if you only got a little bit of time. So I believe what will happen is say, hey, how you doing? We're going to have to vacate the street, curfew at 10. I think they're going to think this is a joke or something. They say, come on, man, you play. No, we're not playing. And then they're going to find out it's serious. So I would go on the record today, the street would not be cleared at 10 because it's impossible to do. I asked a guy in SWAT in New York, what happens when you have this situation? Stand down. Because basically, like you said, you hit it on the head. Yeah, the risk is not worth the reward.
Yeah, it's never a question of what can be done or what can't be done. One of my great mentors in my private contracting career, Adam, once told me it was never about what can or can't be done. It's how much are you willing to pay for it.
Well, I'm glad because you see this gentleman. Can you say the name for me?
Gregory Velez.
You know who that gentleman is?
No.
You'll find out today. City manager of Key West, Florida.
Oh, yes, I sued him today.
Yes. City manager of Key West, Florida.
Took me a second to draw it together.
Now, let me tell you something about this guy right here. So, basically, full disclosure, This gentleman here, I've known him for a very long time. He's a very nice person. I support him. I think he got an incredible job. It happened his bad luck that he got in city manager in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
So I want you.
I do not envy that position.
Yeah, so I could talk with him all day. Me and him ain't never gonna have a problem. Now we might disagree on some stuff. He could scream at me. I could scream at him, but we're always gonna be respectful, right? Because we're friends. Now you basically, I want you to keep it blood raw. Here's the man watching. What do you want to say to him, because he's trying to do the best he can, and at the end of the day, this is not a city, this is not a mayor type government. It's a city manager, so really the buck stops with him. This is your time.
So I mean, and this is new to me. Moving from Tennessee, I didn't know this. It never came up in my life. This is a new thing to me to have a city manager being in control of these things, and I respect his position with the utmost authority that it brings, but. I keep hearkening back to the commissioners meeting where I spoke, because there were so many times where either the commissioners, the mayor, or even Mr. Velez in his official capacity were saying things that just are completely detached from reality.
So please elaborate.
So I would elaborate that, especially, and I don't have any quotes offhand from him, but Commissioner Weekly told us it's just one night. It's just a little sacrifice. We're all sacrificing. We're all in this together. I'm so sick of hearing we're all in this together. We're not in this together. I can look at my ledger. I'm just like I said in the commission, I'm an ardent follower of Dave Ramsey's financial plan for peace. And if you're not, you should be. Right. And I keep an Excel of every single wage that I bring.
When this man just said this, and I'm gonna keep it blood raw too. When that man just said about Commissioner Weekly, what he just said, my blood pressure shot up seven points up right off the bat.
It's just unbelievably detached from reality.
You lost on what's going on completely, and you need to get out from your shell. This is the conch. Get out of the conch shell and find out what's going on the streets. Like, see, Mr. Velez, he go on the street and find out what's going on.
I saw him during that Silky side.
Right. So bottom line is, I'm very angry, and my blood pressure shot up 7%. So let me ask you, what else do you want to elaborate? What you think of being you was at the meeting? What else did you find that was completely out of whack?
I just don't. I don't want to get angry. I don't want to get angry, and as I've explained this to some friends before, it's just like anything else. There's a balancing act. If you put your change down from getting some chips at the Sunbeam grocery store and someone grabs it, it's 50 cents. You're not going to start stink over that.
Right.
Someone swipes $5 from you. Like if you leave a $5 tip down for Cheryl at Irish Kevin's right now, and somebody else takes it, you're gonna stand up for that. But it's just $5.
Right.
How much has been taken out of our economy today? And I don't want to reference this as an economy as a PPP for the entire island.
Right.
That's an economic equation that obviously a lot of people on that council do not comprehend. But for the layman, for the person who is going to work every day as a waiter, as a waitress, as a server, even in the businesses that supply those people, we need to understand the concept that waiter is no less than you. She is not beneath you. I keep hearing about all these essential. You can do these essential things. You can do these essential things. Any job that puts food on your table is essential. Don't believe me? Come and try to take food off my kid's plate.
Right. No.
And that's what they're doing. That's what I said at the meeting.
And let me say this: the decision for the curfew, based on how you understand it from the mayor, okay, is for what purpose do you think she brings this decision? What is behind her bringing this decision forward to accomplish what?
Right. I would like to, right there, I would like to draw a distinction between an intention and a purpose. I believe wholeheartedly, I don't know the mayor.
Right.
I don't know anyone who's personal friends with her, but I've never heard anything that would make me think that she has some ill intention behind doing this. I believe wholeheartedly that 5,000 people wouldn't have voted for her if she wasn't at least a nice person.
She is a very nice person,
and very cordial whenever I hear her speak. Very professional on her own podcast that videos that she did.
Right.
But that's her intention. Her purpose is a stark contrast for that, because this curfew is not going to solve anything. COVID doesn't start at 10:01. It doesn't start at 9:59 either.
That's what I was told.
And it's and there have been numerous studies. We go back to trust the experts. Well, the experts in New York found out that only 2% of all infections were from restaurants and bars.
The last time I checked, the mayor never hosted a party or an event or had 10,000 people at one place at one venue. So when you say experts, I surround myself all day with experts.
Of course, yeah.
Engineering, I don't know anything about engineering.
This is our field.
Right, so we can send them to Mr. Engineer. He's going to tell you what's going on.
I have kicked 3,000 people out of Nudie's Honky Tonk.
So what'll happen here, okay, is that this, you know how they have super spreader events?
Yeah, and you know what? I'd like to touch on that. What is is there a legal definition for super spreader? Is there a are you going to learn what that is in medical school?
So, do we have anybody on the diocese or city staff that's a scientist?
Not to my knowledge.
No I never seen a scientist speak ever in my history of living at City Hall that I've been present. Might have happened, but I wasn't there. So what'll happen is, in my opinion, and I'll say this to next Christmas, is this is a super spreader decision. So if what we're trying to do is prevent COVID, we actually going to have an increase of COVID because those people would you agree those people not going home at 10?
Yeah, I've completely, and I look at, like you say, what's going down the street. I've sorry mom, but I've lived at the bar since I was 18 years old, 16 years old at one of the bars on Melrose. But, I know what's going to happen at 10 o'clock. Most of the people, because if you confront them about anything, they'll back off. They'll just do it. That's just the way people naturally are. Confident. Most of the people are just going to go, okay, well, it's 10 o'clock. Let's close out our tab, yada, yada, yada. Well, that takes care of 75% of people. Right. That's great. And then you're going to have, another 20% of people that are going to begrudge it and they're going to linger. They're, I'm finishing my beer. I'm waiting for my girlfriend in the bathroom. And you have those people, and they're annoying. It sucks, but you were going to have to do that on New Year's Eve anyways. Whether you're a bar staff or a cop, you were already going to have to do that. What we're trying to prevent with this asinine curfew, in my opinion, is the remaining 5% in that equation that are for whatever reason, either through inebriation or through just their normal assholery lives, are going to stop, and they're going to put up a fence.
Mr. Day's been very nice. I'll give it to you. Blood raw. What I'm trying to prevent is a stabbing, a shooting, or any type of major incident where multiple people get hurt. Yeah. If that happens for any goddamn reason, I don't care how it happened, why. The only one I'm not blaming Greg Velez. I'm not blaming Commissioner Davila. I'm not blaming Commissioner Lopez. I'm only blaming one person. You made a decision, have a curfew. Hopefully all be peaches and cream. If it's not, I'm holding the mayor accountable for 100,000,000% of what occurred. Hopefully we won't have a problem.
Do you think she'll be down here in her Christian Louie
That lady's not going to be nowhere around Duval. She ain't going to be nowhere on Simonton. She ain't going to be nowhere on Whitehead. She ain't going to be nowhere but nowhere. So you know who's going to be down there though? Our poor code enforcement and the poor chief going to have to. He don't want to be downtown or whatever. So I don't want my people. I already had 300,000 people, die in the world. I don't want nobody else to get hurt. So basically, at the end of the day, I just want people to be left alone. If you want to go into a crowd of 18,000 people, that's your right to do it. If you want to get one of the bank doors, like we told the mayor, and put it in front of your house and never come out into 2026, that's your business too. But leave the goddamn service industry alone and basically let us go about our business, because at this point, we've never been hot. Miami's hot. In Miami, I went to Miami and then people going about their business. And you still could go to Miami in a hot spot. So thank you, Mr. Velez, for the time for us to express our thoughts here, and we with you because it's a big headache. Migraine headaches all time high in Key West with this stuff going on. So Mike Knowles, stand by. We're gonna have you run through your stuff, so stand by. I got Scott Young, Jacksonville checking in. Thank you for all the love. If you like what you seeing right now, throw the hearts all the way up, and please share the video worldwide. Mike Knowles, give it to me.
Okay, we got declare not, We got Anita Rammond Woods. We got Brandy Jolly. We got Mary Turner. We got Dion Clark. We got Yamit. I don't know what the last name is. Arturo. And we got Latravian Holmes. William Gonzalez.
Willie Gonzalez. Willie, a quick question. Y'all have Mayor Gonzalez said you have a curfew. Y'all wide open to 4 o'clock. I want to make sure nothing change around here. Go ahead.
We got Jennifer Bird Thurman.
Okay, Jennifer Bird.
Oh, wow. And that's all I got
Everything
on
on
it.
your
Yeah.
side? Mr. Day, I see you got a lot of love right now.
Yeah, man.
Love,
Let's run.
Love in the club.
Let's run through this real quick. Pete, once again, hanging in. Dave Wireman, who's getting his ass kicked in my fantasy football league. Stephen Ingram. Raul Hernandez, part of the mastermind team.
And you could also give their comments if you want, whoever's on there.
He said fight, brother, which is more coherent than most
You got to
of the
fight for your right to
teammates.
party, Beastie Boys.
I know, right? I don't think he's
Boys.
old enough for the Beasties.
You don't know about it?
I know about that.
He don't.
No, he don't. He's too young for that. He's too Alabama for that, too. Raul Hernandez, Linda Canfield Carter, Melissa Gale, David Wireman, Zach Newman, Teresa, Code Remington. That's not his real name. I actually named my son after that man.
Nice.
Jared Hall. I went to high school with him. Jeremy Willis, a local. Whitney Copeland, a Broadway local. Megan Baker, Savannah Hall, Nashville,
Nashville,
Marines.
big in here, boy. Big.
And I think the biggest shout out that I could possibly give, my mom.
Oh, hi, Mom.
My
God
mom.
bless.
I know it.
Your son is a hell of a man. A lot of courage.
Stop it.
A
Okay,
lot
tell
of
me
courage.
yeah, well, I mean, God, I'd have to survive 18 years with her. Oh my God. No one has ever been more excited to join the Marine Corps than I was at 18. Oh my God. I love you, Mom. Jen Randolph, one of my bartenders and best friends from Nashville. Whitney Copeland, Marco, Justin Holland, Larry, who was part of our team down here, Nadine, back from Auburn days, Phil from the Marine Corps, Martin, one of my best friends since kindergarten.
Martin, how you doing?
I love that guy. I feel bad for him. I know we took a loss today, but no one's taken a loss more than Martin Penny and his University of Tennessee Volunteers.
Ooh,
that poor bastard.
Give me an update on the Hurricane game, man. See what them Hurricanes.
Yeah, let's see what they're doing.
Okay.
Jeremy Tomlin, Jonathan Hall, Justin Holland, my buddy. Ricardo Violetta, who goes to CrossFit Mile Zero. Great gym on New Year's.
Shout out to CrossFit. Get in shape for
New Year's is
2021.
coming. You don't have to wear neon. I know you might think so. You don't even have to post about it on Facebook like everybody else does. But
Nice.
it's great. Coach Jeff and Steven, all of them really hook you up over there. Faria, love her. She, God, must have the heart of Mother Teresa to marry my best friend Justin Holland.
Mike knows what you got.
Well, I only got one that's Brandon Bravo, but I got a question for you, Lou.
Go ahead.
Let me ask something. With all these people that's here, ain't that just a lot of people just like Fantasy Fest and everything else?
The New Year's Eve is a little bit slight less than Fantasy Fest, but these numbers here. You remember Fantasy Fest?
Yeah.
A lot of people canceled because there was no Fantasy Fest.
Yeah.
You could have a curfew. You can't cancel New Year's Eve.
No, you can't do that.
So
it's not sponsored
the
by
people
the city
come
to cancel.
So basically, these people full throttle here, Michael. So what is it that you want to ask me?
Okay, and then on top of that, you got this weekend here, you got drunk, you got cops looking out for drunk driving, law enforcement out and that.
Right.
Boy, I see a lot on there. So do you think how possible you seen this being done, man?
Well, I don't think it can be done, and my concern is transit. When you put thousands of people in transit in the middle of New Year's Eve, if you have 2 accidents at one time, the whole city shuts down. So basically, I'm a call for call no action. I think you have presence, but you let the people go on, and if we're forceful, we will fail. That's my opinion. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, the city's put itself in a big predicament, and as always, it's not the people who made the decision that are going to be on the front line. It's going to be our cops, our cops, and our codes enforcement,
and they're going to try to do the best they can. They'll try to do the best they can, and we're there to support them. We don't want them to get hurt or nobody to get hurt. But when they say, like, if you tell me to do a mission and I can't do it, I don't care who I'm talking to or whatever. I just tell them that this can't be done. Originally, when it was going to clear at 1 o'clock, I said, okay, well, if you clear at 10, be better. However, after thinking about that, we're going to hit peak time because at 12, at least some people would have left voluntary. Ain't nobody leaving at 10. They're not ready to leave at 10.
No.
Anybody else on there before we get out of here?
Jeff Welch from CrossFit Mile Zero, good buddy of mine who's about to send me on a new diet and workout plan. Not going to be pleased with that.
Okay.
Timmy, love you, Timmy.
And you got some people out there.
And my mom commented. Let's see what my mom said. It might not be.
Yeah.
It might not be good for the public audience.
Blood raw.
The blood raw. Mayor of Key West, do not come to Nashville.
Ooh.
For I can go from Southern Belle to your worst nightmare faster than you can say bless your heart.
Wow. Okay.
It
sounds like the mayor's been banned from Nashville.
I will attest to that.
What's Mastermind saying?
Mastermind, man, I can make this show so much better with alerts and everything, right?
Well, you know, make it happen.
Get with him. He's been working hard on Mastermind Gaming. He's got all kinds of little things that he can move around. It's way above my pay grade.
I love Joe. Joe, you know how to get a hold of him. Just make it happen. And is that everybody there?
That's going to be it.
Bro, you got a question that came in too.
Okay, so thank you, Florida Keys Injury Lawyers, Accident Lawyers in the Keys. If you have an accident in a car, moped, bicycle, or God forbid on that ocean, FloridaKeysInjury.com, 302 Southern Street. Locals taking care of locals. Advanced Urgent Care, Key West Marathon and Key Largo, now offering affordable health care, $89. This is a great program for locals. And we test and treat over there at Advanced Urgent Care. Naughty Vapes, the #1 vape shop in the world. Make sure you quit that smoking. 10% huge local discount for locals and military. And make sure you like their Facebook page on their Naughty Vapes, Nauti Vapes. And it's all love today. Thank you all so much for being on the podcast. Definitely a lot of people come here and spend time with us, so we can't do it without y'all. Go ahead, Mike, what you got?
I got Elijah, and he says he got the question for you, Lil Louie. Say, do you think Stock Island will get congested?
Let me just give you specific. Seabonet Stock Island on Swole, all the way to the street. Block parties on Swole. I know none of y'all, some of y'all don't know what Swole means a whole bunch of people. Over there at the Hogfish, I think we're having a sander drop. I'm not sure. That's what I'm hearing on the street. And then the people going to have their own party, but guess what? Ain't nobody going to tell you to stop nothing because over in Stock Island, it's good to 4 o'clock. My concern is if you come back into the city, I don't want nobody to get in trouble. I mean, you have to get back. If you live in Key West, you're going to have to go past 10 o'clock. And then, as far as I'm concerned, walk a dog wherever you feel like it. You know, walk a dog 251 feet, go to the dog pound and get arrested. I don't think that's going to work. So to me, if you got a dog, walk the dog wherever the hell you want to. That's how I feel.
Well, you know, a dog isn't a hall pass, so I'll walk my damn self wherever I please.
So let me ask you this, Andrew. So what you gonna do for New Year's Eve? What's the game plan? You gonna have a party? What's your thought pattern?
I am going to reflect on my resolve to make 2021 better than 2020.
Great plan. I'll tell you where I'll be at.
That couldn't have been any faker.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to be out working with the media. As y'all know, media is exempt from the curfew if you read the statute.
Let's all get some credentials.
I'll be with CNN, covering hopefully all entertainment, all good stuff. I don't cover no bad stuff. And also Channel 10 coming down here. And we will probably go live from the city of Key West. And, we'll just have a Happy New Year. I mean, ain't nobody going to stop no Happy New Year. So we still got 48 hours. I suggest that we let this thing, you can still leave it in the books, treat it as the open container. Don't enforce it. Because right now, how many people can, it's in the books for open container. You can arrest everybody on divorce.
Oh, absolutely.
But we're not going to. So let's leave it alone. I feel bad for my code enforcement people. When you have your contracts come up, I want Terry to go ahead and negotiate with y'all and put her feet to the fire and say, man, we need to get paid triple amount that we got paid before, because I don't think they signed up for all this stuff.
Well, I mean, if their contract's up within the next 2 years, they can deal with Terry, but I'd say after that, they could probably deal with somebody else.
Yes. Any closing word for the people before we get up out of here? And you've been a great guest, by the way.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate you having me on. And I guess the last thing that I would want to uphold for everyone to take away from this would be just the sentiment that we need to get back to to treating each other like people. And of course, you know, that sounds like a Hallmark card, that sounds like a meme, but it dissolves so quickly over the internet. You know, things that people have said to me and to others that I've seen, even things that I've said to other people as well over Facebook. They're not things that you would say in public.
Be respectful.
A lot of people will run that keyboard, but they won't run that mouth. So I think everybody just needs to take a step back from right, wrong, legal, illegal, positive, negative, and really just live your own life. You know, don't get into other people's business.
Mike knows that you have to unfriend, block, or plan a visit with the Louie C. the Mayor team today. I ain't seen nobody came out of pocket.
No.
But because when you have action, there got to be consequences. We don't recommend that people, you know, get violent, but where we come from, you know, if there's a disrespect, back in the day we could, you know, slap you in the mouth. We don't want to do that. We want to have conversation with people. But
I want to do that.
When you come out of pocket to people and disrespect people, like for example, if somebody's not wearing a mask, leave them people alone. Let the authorities deal with that. You don't know what that person's going through. So I think this has been very solid. The battle wasn't won today, but I'll be damned if we don't win the war. And by all means necessary, we're going to be applying pressure. And let's just make a good decision for New Year's Eve. Yeah. And let's say a prayer for that nobody gets hurt. There's any problem. And let just people have fun. We love y'all. Thank you for being on the podcast. And in conclusion, anybody over here, I don't care who it is, if you conked out with me for 28 years, if you rock with me on the entertainment, that got any problem with Andrew Pink Day, got a problem with me.